What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today, I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this new album from Pusha T called Daytona. Now, Pusha T, of course, was going to call this King Push, but he switched it up, and he is also known as one of the kings of coke rap. When you look at the work that he's done, not only as a solo artist, but also as a member of the Clips, that's really hard to deny. This is a guy who's put in a lot of work for a lot of years, and it definitely shows. But this project right here is a 7-track affair produced entirely by Kanye West, although, there are a couple of co-producers listed, as you would expect. And I do like how Kanye took it back to his roots with this one. What you're in for is a lot of sample-based stuff, so as someone who didn't really like Yeezus and Tlop, The Life of Pablo, I certainly think that he's back on track with this project, and I am more interested in hearing what he has in the works. So I like a lot of these beats, especially Comeback Baby. The way this one switches up between a grimy sound on the verses to that soul sample on the hook is perfect, because on those verses you're really getting that menacing flow from Pusha T. Of course, Pusha T is coming through with his braggy, dope boy bars as you would expect. And even though a lot of people are kind of boring when they do that, I feel like Pusha T pulls it off nicely, you know what I mean? He has a lot of clever wordplay, he's got memorable lines, and he's got that cadence that just really sticks out. So as a rapper, I like Pusha T, although his content can get kind of monotonous, and I will talk about that a bit later. One song though that I gotta say I didn't like, just to get it out of the way, was Santeria. I wasn't a big fan of that feature from 070 Shake. I just felt like that little Spanish bridge or hook kind of slowed things down, although I do appreciate Pusha T using this track to speak on one of his loved ones. So you do get a pretty cool idea here, but this was one of the tracks I didn't care for, and a beat that I didn't really love either. But to get back to the good, I like this one line on the song If You Know, You Know. Pusha T says, "A rapper turned trapper can't morph into us, but a trapper turned rapper can morph into Puff." I just thought that was a great way to speak on authenticity, not only in the rap game, but also when it comes to hustling itself. You gotta keep it real, and Pusha T knows all about that. So that was a great line. I also gotta point out on this track how he repeats the mantra, "If you know, you know," while he's speaking on the knowledge and experiences he has in regards to the dope game. This is a very cool track. I like the approach that he used here, even though it is a lot of the typical content you would expect from Pusha T. So this was a dope track, man. The beat's dope as well because you're getting some very thick bass on there. It really is kind of a banger, you know what I mean? You're getting some vocal chops throughout there too. So that was a beat that I did like. Now another clear standout has got to be Infrared. This one does have a little bit of a minimalistic beat that I find sort of dull, but it does work nicely for what Pusha T is doing. This is one of those beats that's kind of quiet because it wants the bars to breathe, and Pusha T definitely has tons of them. So, of course, he's calling out the state of the rap game where the beats and the hooks are doing most of the work, so he's not a fan of that type of shit, and he takes some shots at Drake. Drake actually responded already with Duppy Freestyle, and I will talk about that in the rundown. But as for what Pusha T says on here, he says it was written like Nas, but came from Quentin. And I thought that was a dope little jab, man. Just bringing Quentin Miller into the mix. Obviously in regards to how Drake has been known to use ghostwriters, or maybe not ghostwriters because they're listed in the credits, but he's having other people help him write his shit. That's a knock that plenty of people have on Drake, and it is pretty fair. He also says, how can you right these wrongs if you don't write these songs? Pusha T is really just fed up with the state of the rap game right now. You can tell, man. He's calling out these people using ghostwriters, how the beats and bars do most of the work. And there was another line on a track here, I gotta find it, on Hard Piano, where he says he's too rare amongst the pink hair. So Pusha T is really putting on for the old heads and that classic shit, and that's something that I do appreciate about him. So that was a pretty dope track overall, coming back from Hard Piano to Infrared, of course. Infrared also has some other good topics on it. I like how he brings up the fact that Baby has been fucking over Wheezy. So Pusha and Wheezy had some shots here and there at times, but it almost seems like Pusha's over that because he's almost sympathizing with Lil Wayne because he brings up how he's on tour, he's doing all this shit, but is he really getting all the money that he's deserved? But now I'm coming back to Hard Piano. I know I'm kind of ping-ponging back and forth, but Hard Piano is another beat that I wasn't all out in love with. Pretty cool. It is just a simple piano loop, but it does have a lot of bang to it, so it's not trash or anything, just not a personal favorite. You do have Rick Ross on here. He's coming through with his usual boss bars about blowing millions into dust. So this was a pretty good track, man. Not a favorite track, not a least favorite, just a track that's all right, you know what I mean? And in a 7-track affair, that's something that does stick out a little bit for me. This is certainly a dope project, but not something that I'm seeing as an album of the year contender. However, the other feature we got to talk about on here is obviously Kanye West himself, who shows up on the song What Would Meek Do? This is another track that has some banging production on it, pretty nice beat, and I do like what Kanye was talking about here. He obviously brings up a lot of things that have been going on in his life, including Kim using a surrogate, as well as the fact that he's had a pill addiction. He just says that, he's done hiding his scars. He's putting them out there like Seal. Another pretty cool reference to the Kiss from a Rose singer. And he also questions if his MAGA hat would stop police from profiling him. So I thought this was one of the best Kanye verses in a while. He's touching on a lot of different things that he's experienced. So this was a nice setup coming into his next project, coming into his project, I should say. I can definitely say that between this verse and the production on here, I'm much more interested in hearing this Kanye West album now. I really think he might have some good shit happening on there. So that was a dope track. But again, as much as I do like this project, I'm not feeling this as a classic. You know how it goes, an album drops and everyone's losing their shit, saying how, this is the most classic record of all time. I'm not really there. I do like that it's short and cohesive. It's only about 20 minutes. But as I said, there are some spots to me personally that I found kind of dull. I don't love all the beats here, including the games we play. This was kind of just a simple guitar sample. Not bad, but it wasn't really anything overly fantastic. And there were some of those other moments with the beats that I wasn't big on. Throw in the fact that Pusha T is just rapping about the same shit that he always does, dope boy bars and brags, and this one does get kind of dull and boring in spots to me. I know some people are going to be like, what, how can you find this boring and dull? This is album of the year, blah, blah, and that's cool. I get it. Obviously, this is what Pusha T does. This is the lane that he's in, so if all you want to hear from him is that type of shit, then by all means, you're going to be more than happy with this. But after all the anticipation, hype, and just the wait, I was kind of underwhelmed by this, so I am going to go with a 3.5 out of 5. This is some more quality dope boy music from King Push, but I wish he had got a bit more creative with it, maybe expanded his topics some more and fleshed out some storytelling, just some different things like that. But hey, man, that's just my personal opinion. As far as lyrics go, there are a lot of other projects out there that really resonate more with me, whether you want to talk about Saba's album, Jericho Jackson, Apathy's album, The Widow's Son. But hey, man, it's just personal preference. So definitely check this one out for yourself. 3.5 out of 5 means it's an honorable mention. Probably won't make my personal year-end list, but it's dope, and I can understand why it might make yours. But hey, man, that's just how I feel about this one. You can check it out for yourself and then hit me up in the comments section with your thoughts. And of course, man, make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love and you show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.